Top of the afternoon, we will commence our business meeting. How are you? Um, let's talk about automotive development. We have a new series of Type R because we have these new racing stripes. They're red with the carbon flash on the opposite side, and then they have a red pinstripe. So it looks very nice. On the prototype, there's one that is white and there's one that is silver. But the original type car colors is gonna be the yellow brake calipers, and you could put the bronze uh, mesh wheels like the bronze BBS style. Those look nice. The ones that look like the Ferrari F80 joint, those are hot too. Uh, This is a nice design. This, look at that one. Very beautiful design. I have different versions of it too. You know? So just that little difference, it makes a huge. The way ZTK package, ZR1X, carbon fiber wheels, yup, ceramic brakes with the yellow brake calipers. And I have it in like, I think 3 or 4 different colors. Let me see what colors I have. I have the late silver, I have the Arctic white, I have Sebring orange tint coat. I have the Roswell green, I have the black, I have the Riptide blue, and the yellow ones. The yellow ones I have a little bit more. I have more yellow ones, yeah, because all the first orders they were all yellow ones. Yeah. So for the yellow ones, we have 2 different versions. I have some with the black BBSs, no red lines. Then I have some with the carbon fiber wheels. There's 2 different designs. The older one I like better. The newer one is nice, but I have some clients even for the E-rays. They just ordered them in the gloss black, but it's the carbon flash. Those do not come in they do not come carbon fiber. Yep, I have base models too. All of them have the Santorini blue interior. Yeah, so I'm trying to think how I could do it. Yeah, the size and the color makes a difference too. Hmm. That's like the dynamic of making the vehicle turn. That looks really nice. So then, trying to think, I'm able to put competitors on the simulator. Let's go and power up the simulator. We're gonna do SF90 versus E-Ray. SF90 Stradale. So put the SF90 on lane one, put the E-Ray on lane two. All right, give me one quick second. Let's add. Um, So let's go E-Ray. E-Ray C8 Corvette. Wait, give me one quick second. I'm loading it right now. So official test start time 2 minutes. 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each, 5 words each sentence, 5 sentences each paragraph, 5 computer spaces in between, 5 revisions. You can use your hyperscientific, you can use any artificial intelligence or technology, but you must show the work and share it with the class. If you do not show the work, I'm going to assume all you did was use technology and you will get 0 credit for it. Okay? So we're going to continue with engineering. I typed it in wrong. It's C8. Okay, I'll tell you what. Just go C8 Corvette. We hold up. Don't interrupt me. Let me see. The last module we did was the C8R. Could we put a C8R on the simulator? Let's put a C8R on lane 3. We're just gonna warm up the car. Hold up. Give me one quick second. I'm trying to think how we could go back. Hold up. Please report any safety and security issues promptly to your Sunrail conductor, security personnel. I'm trying to think. CO6. Let me see if I can go back. Let me see references. Hold up. Let's just go back to Chevrolet, and then we'll look for the particular model. Hold up. Okay, let's go Corvette. Um, and we're gonna go with 8th generation history. Let me see, 2nd generation. Let's keep going. These are all our design studies. 3rd generation, keep going. 4th generation, we know had the longest run. 5th gen, the best. 6th gen is just an improvement. The last 10% C7. Oh man, ZR1. Give me a ZR1 on lane 4 and give me a regular Stingray C7 on lane 5. Oh man, check it out. That's a nice design. Just look at the design. If you think about it, it wasn't much, you know. Collector edition 0.43. 8th gen, okay. So let's go 8th generation. Let me close this out. That way we could do a head to head. Now let's go E-Ray. Stingray base model. Hold up. I haven't pulled it up yet. Not yet. Suspension, technology Z06, which internationally is Z06. Here we go, E-Ray. You should see the pastel, kind of like a boba tea color right here. Overseas, huge hit as far as that color. And here we go. Listen to this. Let's rock and roll. The E-Ray Performance Hybrid version of the C8 Corvette was unveiled on January 17th, 2023. Similar to the Grand Sport model from the previous C7 generation, a significant portion of the Z06 body is reused for the E-Ray with different badging. Also, 21-inch rear and 20 front wheel sizes are ported from the Z06 with some unique wheel options for the E-Ray. This, the 6.2-liter dual clutch transmission and performance exhaust components are reused from the C8 Stingray model. Performance hybrid 1.9 kilowatt per hour battery assembly, electric motor drive assembly, regenerative braking, hybrid electronics, and hybrid cooling systems are new to the E-Ray model. The E-Ray entered production as a 2024 model year Corvette. At initial product launch, it was the quickest production Corvette ever made, as well as the first with all-wheel drive and the first performance yield. Let's go directly to performance because that's we want to get a baseline, right? So here we go. Chevrolet boarded a 10.5-second quarter mile time, and a 0 to 60, 0 to 97 kilometers per hour time of 2.5 seconds, making it the quickest Corvette up to the initial E-Ray production date. The 6.2-liter engine and performance exhaust combination produces 495 horsepower, 369 kilowatts, and 470 pound-foot of torque, 637 newton meters to the rear, like the Stingray Z51 model. The performance hybrid electric drive system gives an additional 160 horsepower, 119 kilowatts, and 125 pounds. So let's do the math. 160 horsepower divided by 119 kilowatts. So how heavy are the weights in that engine or in that motor, right, between stating? Let's keep going. 169 newton meters. So 160 horsepower, 169 newton meters. So difference is what, zero point 0.9, right? Okay. To the front of the vehicle for impressive overall totals of 655 brake horsepower, 488 kilowatts, and 595 pound-foot of torque, which is 807 newton meters. That's amazing. That is amazing. The C8 E-Ray is able to reach top speeds of 183 miles per hour, 295 kilometers per hour. So you know what that means? C5 was faster. C5 was faster. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, hold on. Let's see the different modes. Here we go for my engineering students. Modes. Two new electric modes for E-Ray only are shuttle and stealth modes. Shuttle mode is not intended for public roads and will allow up to 15 miles per hour. Shuttle mode has a typical range of about 4 to 5 miles. That's crazy. Depending on the performance, hybrid battery, starting state of charge, vehicle speed, terrain, and other driving conditions. Stealth mode allows for all electric driving at a maximum speed of 45 miles per hour, designed for quietly leaving the neighborhood with a range of up to 4 miles, depending on similar conditions as shuttle mode. Both shuttle and stealth modes have a special sound emitted from a speaker mounted within the grille at the front of the vehicle for warning pedestrians that the vehicle is in electric only mode without any sound from the exhaust of the 6.2-liter engine, which is disabled. In other words, in that mode. So let's go very quickly. Let's just go to SF90 and let's just get a baseline for what basically our competitor would be in this example, or something similar, or let's say in the same category. Ferrari SF90 Stradale, mid-engine hybrid sports car. This article is about the sports car. It is not to be confused with the Ferrari SF90 Formula One race car, which of course we're going to do the module on that. So let's add that module. We can close it out on that. And we could do a C8R comparison or C7R, whichever one. We'll pick a generation. The Ferrari SF90 Stradale Type F173 is a mid-engine PHEV plug-in hybrid electric vehicle sports car produced by the Italian automobile manufacturer Ferrari. The car shares its name with the SF90 Formula One car, with 90 standing for the 90th anniversary of the Scuderia Ferrari racing team, and also Stradale, an Italian word for made for the road. Design. The manufacturer claims that the SF90 Stradale can generate 390 kilograms 860 pound of downforce at 250 kilometers per hour, 155 miles per hour, due to new findings in aero and thermodynamics. Here's an illustration of a SF-90 Stradale and the rear view. This is Gallo Yellow, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful machine. It really took time to grow on me. I'm beginning to understand it a lot more. The main feature of the design is the twin part rear wing, which is an application of the drag reduction system, DRS, used in Formula One. A fixed element in the wing incorporates the rear light. The mobile parts of the wing, called shut-off gurney by the manufacturer, integrate into the body by using electric actuators in order to maximize downforce. The SF90 Stradale uses an evolution of Ferrari's vortex generators mounted at the front of the car. The car employs a cab-forward design in order to utilize the new aerodynamic parts of the car more effectively and in order to incorporate radiators for the cooling requirements of the hybrid system of the car. The design is a close collaboration between Ferrari Styling Center and Ferrari engineers. The rear end of the car carries over many iconic Ferrari styling elements, such as the flying buttresses. The engine cover has been kept as low as possible in order to maximize airflow. According to the car's lead designer, Flavio Manzoni, the car's design lies in between that of a spaceship and a race car. The rear side profile harkens back to the 1960s 330 P3-4 specifications, battery and driving mode. The car has a 7.9 kilowatt per hour lithium ion battery for regenerative braking, giving the car 26 kilometers, 16 miles of electric range, so already superior by 1 mile. The car comes with four driving modes, depending on road conditions. The modes are changed by the E-Manettino knob present on the steering wheel. The drive mode runs the car only on the electric motors. The hybrid mode runs the car on both the internal combustion engine and the electric motors and is the car's default mode. In this mode, the car's onboard computer, called Control Logic, also turns off the engine if the conditions are ideal in order to save fuel while allowing the driver to start the engine again. The performance mode keeps the engine running in order to charge the batteries and keeps the car responsive in order for optimum performance. The qualified mode uses the powertrain to its full potential. The control logic system makes use of three primary areas: the high voltage controls of the car, including the batteries, the RAC-E rotation axis control electric torque vectoring system, and the MGUK along with the engine and gearbox. Powertrain. The SF90 is equipped with three electric motors, adding a combined output of 162 kilowatts, 220 brake horsepower. So that's an increase of what? 40, that's 60 extra horsepower to a twin turbocharged V8 engine, something the E-Ray does not have. Rated at a power output of 735 kilowatts, 1,000 brake horsepower basically. It says 986, give and take. We know no two engines are the same in that company. At 7,500 RPM and a maximum torque of 800 newton meters, 590 pound-feet of torque at 6,000 RPM.
Welcome to Sunrail. In event of an emergency,
The
please exit
F-14,
through the side
the
entrance doors, or if
F-154
locked,
engine
through the
is
windows
an
marked
evolution of the
emergency
unit
on
found
each
in
level.
the
The car
488
is
B
also
stock
equipped with a
and the
first aid kit
F-8
and a
Tributo
defibrillator.
models.
Should you need
The engine's
emergency
capacity
assistance,
is now
please contact the onboard crew
4.0
in person.
liters,
Remember, if you see
3,990 cubic
something,
centimeters.
say something.
So we have a bigger engine. Let us continue by what?
En caso de emergencia,
2.2
por
liters.
favor, salga
So we have like a
antes de las
four-cylinder
puertas o por las ventanas
engine
que tengan el
ahead of them,
letrero
right?
que dice
By
emergency
increasing
en
each
cada
cylinder
nivel.
bore to
Este
88
tren también
millimeters,
está
3.46
equipado
inches.
con botiquín de primeros
The intake
auxilios
and
y un
exhaust of the engine
desfibrilador.
have
Si
been
requiere ayuda
completely
de
modified.
emergencia, haga el
The
favor
cylinder
de
heads of the
avisarle a un
engine
miembro de
are
la
now
tripulación
narrower,
que está
and the
a punto.
all-new
Y
central
recuerde,
fuel
si ve
injectors
algo,
run
diga
at a
algo.
pressure of 35 MPs, 5,100 psi. The assembly for the turbochargers is lower than that of the exhaust
Right,
system,
and please be
and the
courteous to
engine
others.
sits 50
Keep your
millimeters,
seatbelt
2
seats.
inches
Keep mobile
lower
devices
in
and
the chassis
conversations low.
than the other
Refrain from
mid-engine
eating
V8
and
models
make room for
in order
others
to
by holding
maintain
on to
the
your
lower
belongings.
center of gravity.
Thank you for riding
The engine
Sunrail.
utilizes a smaller
Viaje
flywheel
bien y por favor
and an
sea
Inconel
cortés con los
exhaust
demás.
manifold.
Mantenga sus pies en el piso, no
The
encima
front
de
wheels
los
are powered
asientos.
by two
Mantenga
electric
el
motors,
volumen bajo
one for each
durante el
wheel,
uso de dispositivos
providing torque
móviles y
vectoring.
durante la
They
conversación.
also function
Absténgase de
as
comer
the
y deje
reversing
espacio
gear,
para los demás,
as the main
sosteniendo sus
transmission 8-speed
pertenencias.
dual clutch
Gracias por
does
usar
not have
Sunrail.
a reversing gear. Transmission.
Please
The
report any
engine
safety
of
and
the
security
SF90
issues
Shadali
promptly to your
is mated
Sunrail
to a new
conductor,
8-speed
security
dual
personnel,
clutch
or
transmission.
ambassador.
The new
Por
transmission
favor, informe
is
cuestiones de
10
seguridad de
kilograms,
inmediato
22
a su
pounds
conductor,
lighter,
personal de
and more
seguridad
compact
o el embajador de
than the
Sunrail.
existing 7-speed transmission used by the other offerings of the manufacturer, partly due to the absence of a dedicated reverse gear, since reversing is provided. One quick second. Dios lo bendiga. Merry Christmas. Gracias. Dios lo bendiga. Give me one quick second. We can pick up right where we left off, okay? Let's go back to transmission. All right, let's rock and roll. The engine of the SF90 Shadali is mated to a new 8-speed dual clutch transmission. The new transmission is 10 kilograms, 22 pounds lighter, and more compact than the existing 7-speed transmission used by the other offerings of the manufacturer, partly due to the absence of a dedicated reverse gear, since reversing is provided by the electric motors mounted on the front axle. The new transmission also has a 30% faster shift time of 200 milliseconds. So let's go handling and let's go performance. We will go into variants because we're going to go back to 8th generation Corvette. All right, for my engineers, let's rock and roll. Handling. The SF90 Shadali employs ESSC, electric side slip control. It cheats, which controls the torque distribution to all four wheels of the car. The ESSC is combined with a ETC, traditional hydraulic braking system, and electric motors to provide optimal regenerative braking and torque vectoring. Chassis. The car's all-new chassis combines aluminum and carbon fiber to improve structural rigidity and provide a suitable platform for the car's hybrid system. The car has a total dry weight of 1,570 kilograms, 3,461 pounds, after combining the 270 kilogram, 595 pound weight of the electric system. Performance. Ferrari states that the SF90 Shadali is capable of accelerating from a standstill to 100 kilometers per hour, 62 miles per hour, in 2.5 seconds. 0 to 200 kilometers per hour, or 124 miles per hour, in 6.7 seconds, and can attain a top speed of 340 kilometers per hour. So 211, 212 miles per hour. So just what? 5.5 miles shy of an Enzo with more power, but less cylinders, right? Less displacement, but let's take notes. So variants are the Spider, the Assetto Fioriano, SF90XX.
This is the Sanford
All right,
station.
let's do those quick
Esta is
three
Sanford
variants.
Station.
Spider. The SF90 Spider is an open top variant of the SF90 Stradale, equipped with a retractable hardtop. It is the first
This
Ferrari
is the
plug-in hybrid
Sanford
car
station.
offered as
Esta
an
parada
open-top
is
variant.
Sanford
It
Station.
is also the most powerful non-limiting portable car in the world, having a combined power of 735 kilowatts, 1,000 brake horsepower. The previous record was held by the Ferrari 812 GTS. Performance is very similar to the closed-body variant and on par with the LaFerrari Aperta. So that says a lot right there. We all know it's the entry level version. That's the only way they could justify building the car. So SF90 and SF90 Aperta rear view. Okay. Assetto Fioriano. So this is a performance package. The Assetto
Welcome to
Fioriano
Sunrail.
is a racing
Please have your
modification pack
smart card
for the
ready for
SF90
reception.
Stradale or Spider.
Bienvenido
It
a
uses
Sunrail.
racing
Por
derived
favor, tenga su
multimatic
SIM card
shocks
lista para la
and lightweight
inspección.
carbon fiber parts embedded in the door panels and underbody. The Assetto Fioriano also employs a lightweight titanium exhaust system and carbon fiber wheels. These measures have saved 30 kilograms, 66 pounds, compared to the standard SF90 Stradale. So this is the Type R. Assetto Fioriano specific paint job with the livery, basically the anchor livery, carbon fiber wheels with the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 315/30 ZR20s. So that's about right. That's about right. It's not perfect, but let's finalize with the SF90XX, which I have about seven in my inventory. So hit me up on Manek 504-202-5915, cyraxplex at gmail.com during normal business hours. All right, let's rock and roll. 2024 Ferrari SF90XX Stradale. The SF90XX Stradale and the Spider is the track focused version of the SF90 Stradale Spider. Unlike the track only Ferrari FXX, 599XX, and FXXK models, the SF90XX is a road legal version, although it is track focused. The SF90XX is designed to provide one of the most efficient aerodynamic performance of any road legal car in Ferrari's history. So it's all about aerodynamics. The hybrid power plant used in the SF90 Stradale and Spider has a total power output of 758 kilowatts, 1,030 brake horsepower, and over 804 newton meters of torque, 593 pound-feet, of which 586 kilowatts, 797 brake horsepower are delivered by the V8 ICE and 171 kilowatts, 233 brake horsepower by the electric motor. So this one is still a little bit more powerful by almost 14 horsepower. Unbelievable. All right. So we kind of have an idea. Let's put it on the rig real quick. Let's put it on the flatbed. Let's see what we got here. Tell of the tape. 2019 to 2024, Stradale and Spider. 23 to present, XX Stradale. Only limited run of 799 units. I have about seven. So there's another 701 out there, maybe 707. XX Spider, 599 units, 1,398 total. So a little bit more spiders for my students. How many more spiders? So 1398 subtract 798. Assembly Italy Maranello, designer Ferrari Styling Centre, under the direction of Flavio Manzoni. Body and chassis sports car, two-door Berlinetta, two-door retractable
Please
hardtop
report
convertible.
any safety and
Layout
security issues
longitudinal
about
mid-engine
to a
all-wheel
Sunrail
drive.
conductor, security personnel,
Related
or
296
ambassador.
GT Berlinetta.
Por favor,
Powertrain
informe
4
cuestiones
liter,
de seguridad e limpiado
3,990
a su
cubic centimeter
conductor, personal de seguridad o el embajador
F154F8 twin turbocharged V8. Electric motors, three electric motors, one mounted on the transmission and one on each front wheel. Power output engine 574 kilowatts, 780 brake horsepower. Electric motors 162 kilowatts, 220 brake horsepower. Combined 735 kilowatts, 1000 brake horsepower. It says anywhere from 986, but we're always going to take those extra, 14 brake horsepower, pro and con. Hybrid powertrain, drivetrain. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Battery 7.9 kilowatt lithium ion. Electric range 26 kilometers, 16 miles. So still, even the lowest estimate still beats our vehicle by one. Let's go with the dimensions. Wheelbase 2,650 millimeters, 104.3 inches. Length 4,710 millimeters, even 185.4 inches. Width 1,972 millimeters, 77.6 inches. Height
The next stop is the Lake
1,186
Mary
millimeters,
Station. Exit here for
46.7
downtown
inches.
Lake Mary
Curb
shops
weight
and restaurants.
1,600
Remember to tap off your
kilograms,
Sun card. Please watch your step.
3,527 pounds.
La siguiente
Base
parada
dry.
es Lake Mary
Curb
Station.
weight
Bájese aquí para negocios y
1,570,
restaurantes en downtown Lake Mary.
3,461 pounds, except the
Recuerde pagar
Floridiano
con su
dry
Sun
weight.
card. Por favor, tenga
And
cuidado al límite.
1,670 kilograms, 3,682 pound spider curve. Okay. And successor, the 849 Testarossa. Let's just double check. We're gonna go back to the race car. I'm interested in the race car. It's a V8 plug-in hybrid, successor to the SF90. Takes its name from the 1980s Ferrari Testarossa. According to Ferrari, the 8 of the 849 part of its name comes from its 8 cylinders, and the 49 comes from the displacement of each cylinder in cubic centimeters. Unveiled to the public on the 9th of September 2025. It is planned to enter production in the middle of 2026.
This is the Lake Mary
The car's
Station.
design recalls the new Ferrari styling elements
Lake Mary
introduced in the
Station.
Ferrari F80, itself being partly inspired by the older Ferrari Daytona. Alright, so let's go back real quick because I'm interested in that race version of the car.
This is the Lake Mary Station.
That's going to give us a little bit more
Lake
insight,
Mary Station.
right? I like the performance. Performance figures are not too bad. What was it that we saw? So specifications, Ignatino, powertrain, transmission, material handling, chassis performance. Um, oh, let's uh, let's look into this. Ferrari SF90. This is the original. Okay, so my design will be a combination of both.
Welcome to Sunrail.
2019 Formula One racing car by Ferrari. This article is about the Formula One car. For the sports car, see Ferrari SF90 Stradale. The Ferrari SF90, also known by its internal name Project 670, is a Formula One racing car designed and constructed by Scuderia Ferrari to compete during the 2019 Formula One World Championship. The chassis was designed by Mattia Binotto, Enrico Cardile, Fabio Montetecchi, and David Sanchez, with Corrado Lotti leading the powertrain design. So we had at least one Spanish designer, thank God. It was driven by Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc, who was making his debut for Scuderia Ferrari. The car made its competitive debut at the 2019 Australian Grand Prix. Background, naming and launch. Ferrari designed and constructed the SM90 as a Formula One car to compete during the 2019 Formula One World Championship. The car was driven by four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel and Ferrari debutant Charles Leclerc in every race of the 2019 season. Ferrari named the car the SF90 to celebrate the company's 90th anniversary, and in keeping with tradition, Vettel named his car Lima. Initial design. The new regulations for the 2019 season meant that the teams had to adopt a new, simpler front wing design and a higher and wider rear wing. Ferrari produced a radical front wing design that tapered downwards from the middle towards the end plates of the wing, whereas Mercedes and Red Bull, their nearest rivals, went with a conventional design that is high from middle to end. The design was meant to encourage flow around the tires, with the front wing being below the maximum allowed height. Ferrari's front wing design meant that the majority of the loading would be felt on the middle of the wing, and this in turn would cause the air flow to be directed to within the front tires. This design made the car's downforce levels more predictable, albeit with less downforce overall. An anonymous aerodynamicist commented that because the front wing did not generate as much downforce as the front wings of some of its rival cars, Ferrari instead had to compensate and increase the size of their verge boards to provide this downforce. This in turn meant that the rear was unable to produce as much downforce as the front going forward in the development of the car. This was likely to lead a car prone to oversteer. Therefore, it was anticipated that the SF90 would not be as fast as some of its rivals, and the amount of downforce the car would produce would be limited. Ferrari changed the engine cover on the SF90, making it smaller compared its predecessors or to its predecessors, the SF71H. In order to save weight and improve aerodynamics, Ferrari adopted a matte finish of the car's livery instead of gloss to save weight. The SF90 also had a reworked cooling system, with the engine cover having a smaller inlet, now triangular rather than oval, and the radiator air inlets were made larger. The rear bodywork was also remodeled, suggesting an increase in rear aerodynamic performance. Season performance. Yeah, this car was crazy. Let's see if we can get some of the horsepower information on it. The engine is Ferrari 064 1.6 liter 90 cubic inch direct injection V6 turbocharged engine, limited to 15,000 RPM in a mid-mountain rear-wheel drive layout. So 1.6 liter V6. They've been nice with the V6. They've been very nice with the V6. What year is this? We're talking, I'm telling you the year. It says around 2019. Racing car constructed. Yep, 2019. So this was another successor SF1000. Let's go with some quick dimensions, technical
This is
specifications.
the
Length
Longwood Station.
224.9 inches, width 79 inches, height 37 inches. Wow, 3 inches shorter than GT4. Wheelbase 143.8 inches. Unbelievable. Let's go
This is the Longwood Station. Esta
SF 1000.
parada es Longwood Station.
SF 1000. We'll go back to C8. The Ferrari SF 1000, also known by its internal name Project 671, is a Formula One racing car designed and constructed by Scuderia Ferrari, which competed in the 2020
Welcome to
Formula One
Sunrail.
World Championship.
Please have your Sun card ready for
The
inspection.
SF90 was driven by Sebastian Vettel
Bienvenido a
and Charles
Sunrail.
Leclerc in
Por favor,
2020.
tenga su Sun
The
card
car was
lista
planned to
para la
make its
inspección.
competitive debut at the 2020 Australian Grand Prix. However, this was delayed and the race was called off due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the
Welcome
next
to
9
Sunrail.
events were
In
either
event of an
postponed or
emergency,
cancelled
please exit
as
through
well.
the side
The
entrance doors.
SF 1000
Or if
ultimately made
locked,
its
there
debut
will be a
at the
smart
2020
emergency alarm
Austrian
each
Grand
time.
Prix.
The car is also equipped with a
Okay,
first aid kit and a defibrillator. Should you need
power
emergency
unit.
assistance,
Following
please
the
contact the
2019
onboard
season, the
computer
FIA
person.
launched an
Remember,
investigation
if you
into
see
Ferrari's
something,
power
say
unit
something.
following claims that it had violated the
Bienvenido
technical
a Sunrail.
regulations provisions
Nuestro
on
objetivo
fuel flow
es que
restrictions.
salga a
The
través de la
investigation
puerta
concluded with no
externa o
penalty
por
being
las
given to
ventanas que
Ferrari,
entran en
as no
febrero que
case can be
dice
proven.
emergency en
However,
cada
the
nivel.
FIA
Este
tightened the fuel
tren
flow
también
provisions
está
for the
equipado
2020
con
season
manejo
and
de
introduced a
estaciones
second
y
fuel
un
flow sensor.
desfibrilador.
The
Si requiere ayuda de
SF 1000 was
emergencia,
slower for the
haga el
2020
favor de
season, with
avisarle a un
GPS
miembro de
analysis
la
suggesting
tripulación
that it
que
had
está
lost 65
pasando.
brake
Y
horsepower,
recuerde, si
48
ve
kilowatts,
algo,
in
diga algo.
comparison to the SF90. Wow, so what was it? Maybe the car got heavy.
Please report
All
any
right, for my
safety and
students, you guys could
security
do
issues
a
promptly to
module
your
on that.
Sunrail conductor,
So
security
let's go from
personnel,
the very
or
beginning. Let's
adjuster.
just go 8th
Por
generation
favor,
Corvette. It'll
informe
put
con
us up to
suaves de
speed, right?
seguridad de que
And for our
enviado
new students
a
as
su
well.
portafolio personal de seguridad
Chevrolet Corvette
para la
C8,
pasada
8th
de
generation of the
Sunrail.
Corvette sports car. This article is about the 8th generation of the Chevrolet Corvette sports car. For general Corvette information, see Chevrolet Corvette. The Chevrolet Corvette C8 is the 8th generation of the Corvette sports car, manufactured by American automobile manufacturer Chevrolet. It is the first rear mid-engine Corvette since the model's introduction in 1953, differing from the traditional front mid-engine design started in
The
1963.
next stop is the
The
Altamont
C8
Spring
was announced
Station.
in April
As you exit the
2019,
train,
and the coupe
remember to
made
tap
its
off with your
official
Sun
debut
card.
on July
And
18,
please, watch your
2019,
step.
in Tucson,
La
California.
siguiente
The
parada es
convertible
Altamont
made its
Spring
debut in
Station.
October
Al salir del
2019 during
tren,
a media event
recuerde tocar con su
at
Sun
the
card.
Kennedy
Y
Space
por
Center
favor, tenga
to
cuidado al
coincide
bajar
with the
del tren.
50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission. Production officially began on February 3, 2020, delayed by the 2019 General Motors strike. Two variants of the C8 would go racing globally. The base model Corvette will serve as the basis for the Chevrolet Corvette C8R, debuted in July 2019, later going on to win the 2020 and 2021 IMSA Sports Car Championship and the 2023 FIA World Endurance Championship. It would be later succeeded by the Z06 based Z06 GT3.R in 2024, following the discontinuation of the Le Mans GTE class. Overview. The Corvette C8 is General Motors' first rear mid-engine sports car since the Pontiac Fiero. It features a vastly different design from previous Corvettes, with an all-new aluminum architecture and coilover springs in place of the rear transverse monolith spring used on prior models. The exterior features more aggressive aerodynamics, including larger air intakes and prominent side scoops. A trunk is located in the rear. with additional storage space at the front of the car. Combined, these provide 13 cubic feet, 370 liters of cargo space, 2 cubic feet, 57 liters less than that of the C8. The C7, I apologize. As a result of the switch to a mid-engine layout, the passenger cell has been shifted forward by 16.5 inches, 420 millimeters. The cockpit has been designed to be driver-centric, with numerous controls mounted on the center console, as well as utilizing a new hexagonal steering wheel, a 12-inch, 30.5 centimeters digital screen replaces the instrument cluster and reflects one of the six driving modes selected, and is
This is the
accompanied
Altamont Spring
by
Station.
an 8-inch,
Esta parada es
20.3
Altamont
centimeter
Spring
touchscreen.
Station.
A special Z button is located on the steering wheel, named in honor of earlier performance packages like Z51, Z06, and ZR1. It allows the
This
driver
is
to
the
quickly
Altamont
activate
Spring
customized
Station.
performance settings.
Esta parada es
Here's a view
Altamont
of
Spring
the
Station.
Corvette C8 convertible, the interior, and C8 Z06 with a Z07 option. Stingray trim level and options. Three trim levels are currently available: 1LT, 2LT, 3LT. Let's go forward to the engine. The LT2 V8 engine. The Stingray uses a new version of the LS-based General Motors small block engine derived from the C7 Stingray's LT1, now called the LT2. The new naturally aspirated 6.2-liter overhead valve V8 with crossplane crankshaft is rated at 490 brake horsepower, 465 kilowatts at 6,450 revolutions per minute, and 465 pound-feet of torque, 630 newton-meters of torque at 5,150 RPM. An improvement of 40 horsepower, 30 kilowatts, 31 PS, and 10 pound-foot of torque, 14 newton-meters over the outgoing LT1. The engine uses a dry sump lubrication system, like the LT1 and LT2, features active fuel management or cylinder deactivation, which is used when the car is subjected to low load scenarios such as highway cruising. The engine has two radiators, one on each side in the front. The C51 package includes a third radiator, a water to water and water to oil radiator on the rear driver's side, cooling both engine oil and transmission lubricants, taking air in through the rear quarter panel opening. The optional NPP sports exhaust system brings the total output of the power to 495 brake horsepower, 369 kilowatts, 502 brake horsepower, and torque to 470 pound-feet of torque, 637 newton meters. Chevrolet says that the C8 can accelerate to 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour, in 2009, when equipped with the optional Z51 package. Car and driver recorded an adjusted time of 2.8 seconds. Transmission, we're going to finish here. The Stingray is only offered with an 8-speed dual-clutch automated transmission made by Tremor with paddle shifters on the steering wheel. No manual transmission option is available, or at the time was, because we know it's available now. The only other model years not offered with a manual transmission were the 1953 to 1954 C1 first generation Corvette and 1982 C3. So suspension, wheels, that's everything. All right, let's go and put it on the rig real quick. Let's put it on the lift. And what do we have? All right, here are the dimensions. Wheelbase 107.2 inches, 2,723 millimeters. Length 182.3 inches, 4,630 millimeters. Width is 76.1 inches, 1,933. So zero point 0.1 inches wider. Height 48.6. So huge difference. Deficit of what? 11.6. 1,234 millimeters. Curved weight for the Stingray
This is the Mainland
3,647
Station.
pounds,
Esta parada es
1,654
Mainland
kilograms for the
Station.
Stingray. Okay, overview. That's it. That's everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We got through this module.
Esta parada
We
es
will regroup
Mainland
faster than you
Station.
guys can do this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's get a quick prayer in. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the blessings in our lives. And thank you, Heavenly Father, for the blessings in our lives. We worry not about what we don't have because we're in the process of getting it. And in that journey, everything we do is in your name. Amen. Amen. May you have an amazing day today. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into solid gold bars and silver bars and beautiful precious gemstones such as moissanite and laboratory grown diamonds or any laboratory
Welcome
grown
to
gem.
Sunrail.
Always remember to
Please
dream
have
big
your
because
SIM
dreams
card
come true.
ready for
It happened to
inspection.
me, and I know for a fact it's going to happen to you.
Bienvenido a
We'll be right
Sunrail.
back. You
Por
guys have the
favor,
best
ponga
teacher
su
in the
SIM
world.
card
I know what to
lista
tell you
para
guys. God bless.
inspección.